What's up, everyone? It's Tech Trooper 64, and today I have a news article talking about how Super Mario Run will require an online internet connection to work at all if you want to play the game. Well, shit. Looks like this not becoming the next Pokemon Go. According to an interview by Mashable.com, Super Mario Run will require an internet connection for all three game modes, mainly to maintain security elements. Now, it seems like Super Mario Run will be one of the only Nintendo games to require a constant internet connection to function, according to Shigeru Miyamoto. While Miyamoto said that Nintendo has attempted World Tour mode to be playable offline, but it proved unfeasible due to how World Tour affects other modes, and how these modes will rely on network saves. When asked about the online requirement and if there's any plans for an offline mode, Miyamoto said the following. For us, we view our software as being an important asset for us, and also for consumers who are purchasing the game. We want to make sure that we're able to offer it to them in any way that software is secure, and that they're able to play it in a stable environment. We wanted to be able to leverage the network connection with all three Super Mario Run modes to keep all of the modes functioning together, and offering the game in a way that it keeps the software secure. This is something that we want to continue on as we can develop the game, but actually the security element is one of the reasons why we decided to go with iOS and iPhone first. This is just so based on the current development environment, a requirement that's been built into the game's network security, and the fact that it supports the three different modes connecting the network and interacting with each other. We had a thought at one point it would be nice to have World Tour Story Mode available standalone to be able to play without that connection, but then that complicates the connections back to Toad Rally and Kingdom modes. And because that there's two modes relying on the network save, we had to integrate the World Tour mode as well. When asked about the security element, to clarify, Miyamoto further elaborated Nintendo's security concerns. That's correct. Unlike our dedicated game devices, the game is not releasing in a number of limited countries. We're releasing in 150 countries, and each of those countries have a different network environments and things like that. So it is important to us to have secure for all users. Okay, so in other words, this was to prevent piracy. I'm not trying to be that douche who is just trying to simplify it and saying the truth of it, but it is true. It's just to prevent piracy. It's obvious here, and I get it. Nintendo has always been against piracy for a very long time, but I think this is not the way to do it. I feel like when you think about it, it's really hard to prevent piracy, because Nintendo knows that this is one big risk they took to release to other platforms their games. They knew for a fact that other people have dug through the code of Android and iOS and have figured out the flaws and the inconsistencies so that they can use that to their advantage to customize their phones the way they want. Now, because of that, Nintendo doesn't want people ripping off their sprites, I'm assuming, and people selling the game for free, essentially. And I think that's what they're afraid of, and I know why they're doing this. And when you think about it, there's nothing really that they can do that to really prevent that. Like, there's no other option. So I guess I see why that makes sense. But as a consumer who wants to play this without using my 3G, which, by the way, it costs a lot, the 3G. I don't know how much it is for you guys, but for me, my 3G that I'm using, my data is, or LTE, whatever you want to call it, costs a lot for me anyways. And that's not something I'm keen to spend money on just to play a stupid game. Like, if I wanted to play a Super Mario Brothers game, I'll just buy it on my 3DS. And I think that's kind of what Nintendo's also doing this for, so that they can still tell people, oh, well, you don't have a stable internet connection, you can just buy a 3DS. And that's very reminiscent to what Microsoft's old Xbox boss said when he was asked what happens when someone doesn't have an online internet connection at home and they want to play Xbox One. He said, well, we have a device for that. It's called Xbox 360. And that was a very sassy and rude comment, if you ask me, as a response. But anyway, guys, be sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And let me know what you think about Miyamoto's answer saying that Super Mario Run needs to be online to work. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.